We have a president with a severe psychiatric disorder that causes him to lie, manipulate, and never take accountability. It's because of this mental illness that Trump can go from this.
If you had a knife, you can't even cut it. So strong, so powerful. It's like powerful rubber.
To this.
We have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it. Probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind.
And not even think twice about that lie. I've been an internal medicine and geriatric specialist with a focus on mental health for the past 18 years, treating patients just like the president. In this video, I'll break down how Trump builds a political lie and makes it truth for MAGA. His response to the reflecting pool disaster is a developing situation that is giving us remarkable insight into his psychiatric illness and how he shifts blame from himself to the enemy and plays the victim using various psychological tactics, which I'll explain. The lie begins with Trump's need to feed his ego. Trump said that he wanted a new, beautiful reflecting pool as part of the 250th birthday renovations. He originally wanted to demolish the reflecting pool and build something grander. So Trump's people went and got quotes. They likely asked Clark Construction, who's building the ballroom. Trump was quoted $350 million for a brand new, big, beautiful reflecting pool. Here was his reaction.
$350 million, because I'm the one that said, let's get it done. But they had done studies for years because they wanted to get it done, never got done. Probably so expensive they couldn't afford to do it, really.
He realized $350 million was way too much to spend on a rebuild. But Trump has the idea that he wants it to look like a swimming pool. So instead of a complete rebuild of the reflecting pool, Trump or somebody around him decided to spray polyurethane, which is a rubberized compound, on the walls and floor of the concrete basin, just like you might do to seal a pickup truck bed. In fact, the coating that is currently peeling up is from a company called Rhino Linings, the company who pioneered spray-on pickup truck liners. This spray-on coating would be a much cheaper way to make the reflecting pool look pretty. It's kind of like that cheap landlord who paints over everything in an apartment to cover up the ugly, broken things, paint over the wall outlets, door hinges, everything. So here comes Trump's first lie. How much will this cheap way to make the reflecting pool look like a swimming pool actually cost?
Well, swimming pool looks so beautiful. Wouldn't that be nice? So for a tiny fraction of the time, a tiny fraction of the cost, we end up with a much better product. $1.9 million versus $350 million.
Obviously, the $1.9 million figure is a lie that he seems to have pulled out of thin air. Here's the contractor doing the work on the reflecting pool itself. His name is Eddie Wood. He's the CEO of Atlantic Industrial Coatings.
The President Trump said it's going to cost $1.8 million.
I have no idea where that number came from. The proposal that I gave the government from the day I started talking to them is the same as my contract is today.
Here's that contract, and that contract is for $14.7 million. So Trump originally lied about the cost and lied about the timeline of getting this pool done. Now we get a demonstration of grandiose thinking, which is also part of his mental illness. Listen to him describe how beautiful and indestructible this coating will be.
This will last for at least 50 years, and you'll never have a leak. It's very strong. You couldn't, if you had a knife, I don't want to give anybody ideas. If you had a knife, you can't even cut it. So strong, so powerful. It's like powerful rubber. It is beautiful, sealed. Just think of it. So for a tiny fraction of the cost and a tiny fraction of the time, we end up with the most beautiful thing that you'll ever see. And I look so forward to that opening up. All right? Common sense. Common sense.
Everybody in that room was duped. Trump made it seem like he's a brilliant builder who will build a better reflecting pool that lasts longer and saves $348 million. It's total manipulation. That manipulation and that grandiosity are both hallmarks of his disorder. Now we skip ahead about 6 weeks. The algae is in full bloom, the indestructible liner is cracking and peeling, the whole project is a mess. Who is to blame? Here's where Trump's disorder really kicks in. He cannot allow it to become his fault. He will lie, he will accuse, redirect, play the victim. He will do and say whatever it takes to avoid accountability. These are classic behaviors in people with Trump's same psychiatric condition. In this case, the way he manages to avoid responsibility is by using a psychological tactic called the illusory truth effect. Here's how he did it. On June 19th, after somebody vandalized the lawn near the reflecting pool with the 8647, Trump jumped at the opportunity to suggest that the pool had also been vandalized. That started the lie. On June 20th, he leans into the vandalization narrative and reports arrests have been made. 2 hours later, he posts again, this time with stronger language. Many additional people have been arrested for this disgraceful vandalism. The next day, June 21st, he posts again about this seriously vandalized reflecting pool. And on June 22nd, he posts again about vandalism. This time, it's a 300-foot gash and chemicals were poured into the pool. Later that day, he was in the Oval Office and he reaffirms the vandalism lie, despite having any evidence to show for it.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals that you mentioned?
Vandals. You know, we have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. We had people lifting up the basic, some of the, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now.
He's continuing his story that vandals are to blame. He's then pressed about how vandalism could have taken place with so much security around the pool.
National Guard and police have been all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
We didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that? That they used the knife? Do you have photos or video?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof?
The reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and there's no evidence of it.
All you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. See the secretary. But I saw it. They cut it. They cut it very violently. The same thing with the floor. They cut it. And then they lifted it. They pulled it. And that's what it is.
He claims he has seen the proof of vandalism, but he won't show it. He simply repeats that vandals did it. Then, later that evening, he posts again about vandalism and also tries to redirect by talking about the fake news, Democrats, Obama, and Biden. It's all a distraction. He posts again this morning, June 23rd, that 6 people have been arrested and 7 people cited for the damage that they did to the pool. He repeats the lie that vandalism was the cause of the peeling of the coating at least 10 times in 4 days. The more a lie is repeated, the more it becomes the truth. That is the illusory truth effect. It's Trump's psychiatric disorder that allows him to lie so freely without hesitation or remorse. But there is more to this lie becoming truth for MAGA. There are 2 points I want you to notice. Number one, he never says who is doing the vandalism, just that the pool is being vandalized. Take note of that. And number 2, how could anybody believe this? Brian Tyler Cohen is frustrated about this exact thing. Take a look.
If you believe any of what Donald Trump is saying, how have you gotten this far in life? How have you learned to tie your shoes? Does figuring out how to breathe oxygen take up most of your day? I cannot comprehend being a supporter of a guy who treats his voters as if they are actually brain dead. This is a lie so obvious, it rivals telling a 7-year-old that the tooth fairy is real, with the only difference being that the 7-year-old is smart enough to know that they're being lied to.
This lie is obvious to us because we are in the liberal media bubble. We are more likely to be shown evidence and facts. We watch thoughtful analysis. The media we watch aren't afraid to take accountability when necessary. We simply can't believe the Trump lie. Here's how MAGA can believe the lie. They only see, hear, and read Trump and the right-wing media's version of the story. They turn on the TV to watch the news, and this is what they see.
Trump said that they have evidence of someone slicing and dicing the bottom of the pool, and that evidence will be shown in court. And that we have made 5 arrests, 5 individuals are under investigation.
They're accusing him of being one of several individuals trying to sabotage the project with a pair of arrests so far. In fact, the president said as much in a post to Truth Social announcing, quote, many additional people have been arrested for having to do with this disgraceful vandalism of our beautiful reflecting pool. What these terrible vandals have done is a true affront to both Presidents George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and should be dealt with accordingly.
The vandalism is very real, despite what Tim Walz wants to say. It's an imaginary problem. No, it is not. It's a very real problem. In fact, I spoke with the National Park Service just before joining the show. They now have 17 police reports that have been filed in just the matter of a few days. There's actually been 6 arrests at the reflecting pool where, again, these deranged individuals, many of them longtime donors to the Democrat Party, to Barack Obama, to Act Blue, that have been vandalizing and desecrating our federal monument, one of the most beautiful monuments in the world, the reflecting pool. And that's why President Trump is not going to stop with this effort. We're going to not only hold those people accountable, but we're going to fix the pool, continue to make it beautiful from this despicable vandalism.
There are several citations that have been handed out to individuals, and these are cases that will be prosecuted to the full extent.
Democrats, they are obsessed with a pool that actually reflects a lot more than the Washington Monument. Tonight, it serves as a reflection into the lack of a soul of a party, the Democratic Party, driven by nothing but hatred and rage for all things Donald Trump. They are rooting for his failure, and in this case, they're even rooting for algae. The so-called demonstrators are even harassing members of the National Guard who are on site because of the near constant vandalism from left-wing activists. Sadly, this obsession over the reflecting pool extends well beyond a hatred for President Trump. Many on the left, they just hate America.
Right-wing media falls into line, repeats the lie over and over again, and gives the lie a newsroom polish. And that lie becomes truth. This compounds the illusory truth effect. And note that both Carolyn Levitt and Hannity claim that the vandalism was done by left-wing activists, and they use the lie of vandalism as evidence that liberals hate America. It gets even worse on social media. Look at these posts. Detained a leftist goon for vandalizing the pool. These psychos hate America. Will any Democrat urge people not to vandalize the pool? 5 leftists arrest after slicing a 350-foot gash in the pool. And it goes on and on. And this is the only thing that MAGA ever sees. Of course they believe it. Why wouldn't they? They don't see anything any different. So here is the formula Trump uses to make a lie into truth. He can't take accountability, so he comes up with the lie, the deflection, and repeats it over and over and over. He's applying the illusory truth effect. Right-wing media takes the lie further, continues to repeat it, and makes it seem even more believable with that newsroom polish. And the news commentators and the social media influencers then hit hard on assigning blame to the enemy. In this case, it's anybody on the left. MAGA consumes all of this and only this. And it's the only reality that they know. That's what keeps them hooked in the cult, and that's what keeps us divided as a country. On a final note, I would respect a president who says that the repairs and upgrades to the reflecting pool just didn't work. This is the mistake the contractor made, and these are the steps that we're taking to fix it. But to go beyond that, I don't even need the president to comment on it. A president should have more important things to be doing than spending so much time thinking about and commenting on a reflecting pool. This is what press secretaries are for. This whole thing reinforces the idea that we have to get people elected that work for the good of the general public, not people who use the government to enrich themselves and the elite Epstein donor class. Thank you for your support. We have more great content coming soon, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much to our valued members. Come find me. I'm over on Blue Sky. Take care, and we'll see you in a few days.